Let me do this. Here's the man. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I'm a huge fan. I want to say, I know he's limited on what he can say to us. District Attorney of Boulder, Colorado, the talented Mr. Stan Garnett. Hey, DA, good morning.
Good morning, Peter.
Hey, man, thanks for doing this. I know that you have said what you're going to say, and I thought that opinion piece was great. Do you mind if I ask you a question? And I know that you can also say no comment. Fair enough?
Sure. No, that's
okay.
Fine. Peter, I was thinking, as I called in, as I've told you before, I've been listening to you since you were filling in for Alan Boyles in the 1980s. So I'm always happy to be on your show to say what I can say.
That with Bergie, yeah.
Yeah.
That's all right. Now, I'm probably like the only crazy enough person to have ever read their book. And as you know, they shopped this book called The Death of Innocence, and they finally got a Christian house to publish it because they went and professed their Christianity. And no straight house wanted to publish it. But let me read you from John Ramsey and Patsy Ramsey's book, written by John, page 357 of The Death of Innocence. The battered justice system had creaked and shuddered, but it had worked. We had not been indicted. People would have to finally see the grand jury's decision as our vindication. Whatever time has been lost with the grand jury hearing must now be made up quickly. Page 359. After looking at all the evidence, or lack of it, a grand jury of our peers had not indicted Patsy and me. It seems the system had functioned as our Constitution had intended. We are truly grateful. Now, did Mary Keenan Lacey have the ability to see what the grand jury had said and what you had seen?
Well, Peter, I have to be very careful what I say about grand jury activity. Certainly, so let me answer that question. Hopefully this will be helpful.
All right.
This way. Grand juries are supervised by the chief judge of the judicial district, and the district attorney is very involved in every grand jury. I've been very involved in the ones that we've had, and the couple that Mary had, she was involved in, and so was Alex Hunter. I was made aware of these documents, even though this, of course, was not my grand jury. So there's certain documents that are in the archives of a district attorney's office that every elected district attorney is made aware of.
So why, when they write their book to their acclaim, why would not Alex Hunter say that's not so fast? I mean, he's letting them run around the country, and say things that simply weren't true as their vindication. I mean, later we can get to Mary Lacey's ridiculous letter, and would she have not have seen this? I mean, it is, I think, remarkable.
Yeah, a couple of things that I've tried to be careful not to do. I'm not going to engage in direct criticism of what my predecessors did, and I will tell you, Peter, that it's very difficult to keep up with the various books, et cetera, on the Ramsey case. I personally have not read Death of Innocence. I've read a number of Ramsey books, but I have a lot of active, significant cases that I'm focusing on.
Listen,
so who knows? So who knows who's read what?
Yeah.
Certainly, the portion you quoted to me is a portion that, put in context, is something that might have been of concern.
Were you aware that they had said that in her book?
I'm not going to comment on.
Fair. No, listen.
Yeah,
I more than
fair.
understand that side of it.
Sure.
What I think is this minutia that Mary Keenan Lacey used to exonerate. Did she have the authority, DA, to exonerate the Ramseys?
Well, a district attorney position is among other things, a bit of a bully pulpit. You have the right to come out and say whatever you want about whatever the community is interested in. What I've tried to stress, and what I've tried to stress in my guest opinion, is the public really relies on us to make sure that the justice system works well. And the justice system works well when it's public, when things are presented in open court, and when there's an opportunity for nuanced evidence to be resolved and contested publicly in an open court. The only thing that means anything in the justice system is either a plea of guilty from a defendant who wants to take responsibility for what happened, or a verdict after a full trial.
Well, is there, again, lousy question.
These are pretty good questions.
I know. I mean, they're lousy to you. They're great to me. Is there, as the man said, is there going to be a next time? In other words, is anybody working towards something again?
Well, one of the things I tried to stress in the guest opinion, and I really geared that towards the people of Boulder because that's who I answer to, is that we have a terrific DA's office with great staff, great investigators, really skilled folks. We brought forward a bunch of cold cases that had previously been rejected, and we've gotten convictions on those, some on pleas of guilty, quite a number at jury trial. We, obviously, if the Ramsey case can be brought to a point where it can be filed and pursued to a public trial and a just result, I've got the lawyers that can do that, and we will do that with as much efficiency and focus as we can.
The only way as smarter people than I will ever be said is oftentimes the only way out of a morass is back through it. In other words, the mess that was created by Hunter, Mary Keenan Lacey, and others can only somehow be solved by going back through the morass and untying the Gorgon knot. I would love to see it, and I know you're the man to do it. I know that coming on the show was sort of an anathema, but I know that my respect for you has gone up as always. I know that you're limited in what you can say. Just say hi to everybody. You're the man. It took a lot of heart, and I appreciate it.
No, I appreciate the chance to do it, and this is a public position. I answer to the public, and I owe it to people to explain what's going on in my office, what we're focusing on, and I think the public also needs to know that we really do have a terrific staff that can handle whatever case comes along, and we're going to focus on every one of them that we can. As you know, we approved the filing on Thane Smyka.
Yeah.
We're continuing to look for him. We've got a number of other cold cases that we're working on, so these are a top priority for us.
Well, you are the man. DA, thanks a lot. We'll talk ASAP.
All right, take care, Pete.
District Attorney Stan Garnett.